Wait, there's more? Oh my god, they made a trilogy. I am gonna watch the hell out of these one day. I have seen Sharktopus versus Pteracuda, and it was worth my time. Hello everyone, welcome back to the cinema. My name is Blake. We are here today continuing the Sharktopus trilogy since you all love the first one so much. Sharktopus versus Pteracuda. Ooh. We open this one with a scene from the last one. It's the bungee jumping scene from Sharktopus, but this time it has some horrendous dubbing in what appears to be the Mario Kart soundtrack. It plays out like a previously on Sharktopus. Turns out the Sharktopus was pregnant somehow, and when it exploded, its egg sac survived. This scientist running an aquatic center but working there part-time chick called Lorena, she ends up finding the egg sac, sees the Sharktopus and goes, wow, we're gonna take this to our aquarium. They Jaws 3 that shit. We then cut to some scientists and they're controlling the Pteracuda and stuff. It's already created. And then the lead director says something along the lines of, scientists say that the future is with drones. And I say, fuck that. So we get a whopping 15 seconds of Pteracuda doing shit before it's disobeying orders, comes back to the base, busts through the roof, rips off some heads of some scientists, and the lead director's like, you gotta break a couple eggs, you know? So the head director of this facility gets the lead of our film Ham, sends him out in a chopper with a whole team to go and take down the Pteracuda, and I'm not kidding, this is a line that is said, getting on the chopper. So how long before it went crazy? 6.5 minutes. There's this helicopter flying around, and this crew's got guns and they're like assault rifles trying to shoot a Pteracuda that's flying around, and it's just amazing. The Pteracuda comes in, bites some limbs off out the side of the helicopter, and they're spraying blood everywhere before falling to their death with the Wilhelm scream, of course. The chopper then crashes, they're all bubbling up and down in the water, but it is half-barracuda. So it is in the water, killing them, only one gets to land, and they're like, whew, and that's Ham, our main guy. We then cut back to the Sharktopus in the aquarium, and anytime it starts to get violent or starts acting like a Sharktopus, they literally are knocking over huge barrels of chlorine and just pumping the shit in there so that he gets all drowsy and stops acting like a Sharktopus. Then our head director of this organization finds out the Sharktopus is a thing that's still alive at this aquarium, and he goes to acquire it immediately because setting a Sharktopus loose is exactly what you need to take down a Pteracuda. Ultimately, they get a hold of the Sharktopus, they put a chip in it to program it to kill the Pteracuda, and they set it out into the ocean to go and fight each other. And let me tell you, these are the most unluckiest divers in the world. Need I say more on that? You know what happened to them. And my money is on the Sharktopus. It is on. I don't know how to describe what this looks like. I don't know how to describe it. It is a Sharktopus fighting a Pteracuda. Do with that what you will. Ultimately in this fight, the Pteracuda gets away, and then we cut to a beach with Conan O'Brien.
Lizzie, sweetie, what are you checking out that phone for?
These movies have a trend of putting in someone that you just don't expect in there out of the blue randomly, and I'm gonna spoil this for you because I don't think that you're gonna go out of your way to watch it. These other fellas on the beach are playing volleyball, they hit their volleyball and it knocks Conan O'Brien. He gets up like, what the hell, man, this is bullshit, and then behind him, unfortunately, a Sharktopus appears, busts a tentacle through the back of his head, rips upwards and rips his head right off. The Sharktopus bites the head, like swallowing it, then spits it out. It then goes flying towards the volleyball players, who then proceed to play volleyball with his head. Then America's greatest talk show host has died. Give that man an Oscar. Then we get a massive reveal that the Pteracuda isn't just going haywire and out of control, it's being controlled by someone else named Vladimir Futon. What a name! And then comes one of my favorite scenes in the movie where the Pteracuda attacks a plane.
I think we're gonna make it!
Then it goes Jaws 4 on us. The Sharktopus is attacking a banana boat. Before the Pteracuda shows up again, they fight in what is some of the most stunning CGI fight sequences I have ever seen. And then through very unfortunate circumstances, the Pteracuda knocks the mind control off the Sharktopus. We then have our lead ham and the head director on the beach, and he turns it, he's like, well, that's a new record. Your plan lasted almost 30 minutes. Now we do it my way. They then track down Vladimir Futon. There's a foot chase. Vladimir Futon, I can't do it. Ultimately, the Pteracuda kills Vladimir. Ham then has a knife fight with Pteracuda, and I'm really struggling to get through this one, guys. It's not easy talking about it in retrospect, thinking about what actually happened. The Sharktopus and the Pteracuda fight some more. They send the lead director out on like a tiny boat because they're like, hey, screw you, this is all your fault. Ultimately, the Sharktopus and the Pteracuda rip the guy in half in spectacular fashion. Ultimately, our two heroes, Ham and Lorena. Lorena's come with after the whole aquarium thing. She's with us and trying to help. They're just not Andy and Pumpkin. They're not the leads that the first film had that were just, I have my collar popped and my shirt unbuttoned. These guys are much more toned down, or they're taking it too seriously, and they're just not as much of a caricature as they should be. They hit the Pteracuda with some sort of tracker thing, and then while they're trying to get away in their speedboat and the two are fighting, it explodes, presumably killing both of them. The Pteracuda is 100% dead. There is chunks of this thing flying everywhere. And just as our heroes are kind of riding off into the sunset, you know, Lorraine and Ham got this boat, not interested to see where their story goes whatsoever. The Sharktopus flies out and eats our leads. Presumably, it flies out and then it's black screen and that's it. You would think with everything I've just said that this film topped the first one easy, but it really hasn't. Unfortunately, there is so much exposition and it's bogged down with just boring talking scenes that we don't care about. These characters are not interesting in any aspect whatsoever. They're not even dumb enough that you can just root for them. I just did not care at all. It's upsetting that this one gets bogged down, and the whole idea of the Sharktopus versus the Pteracuda, they fight like 6 or 7 times. It gets tired pretty quick. Once you've seen them fight the first 2 times, you get the idea. It does have some great jokes, and it is worth watching just to see Conan O'Brien in this film. So Sharktopus versus Pteracuda is gonna get a 3 out of 10, and that's on the it's so bad it's funny scale as well. It's got enough good jokes that it's worth watching once if you're into these kind of films like I am. If you're not into the concept, don't watch it. Trust me, it's like 0. But this, for me, who loves shark movies, even though I love bad shark movies, it just gets bogged down with so much crap I don't care about. It just really feels like it lacks that star power feeling. I mean, the guy playing Andy in the first one, it was like he knew exactly how stupid this was, but he gave it everything he had and overacted as much as he could and fought that Sharktopus with a stick. Where here it feels like Ham and Lorena, they're almost trying to get an Oscar out of this. They're trying to really portray what's happening, which for some people makes it funnier. For me, it just didn't work as well. I want everything to be silly non-stop. I don't care for 5 to 10 minutes of explaining the technical application of a Sharktopus and a Pteracuda. I don't care. And that is Sharktopus versus Pteracuda, the second in the trilogy. I will close out the trilogy with, you know, if you don't even know the title, I'm not going to spoil it. But I will close it out. That'll come whenever it comes. I do these when I'm feeling up for them. But thank you so much for coming and joining me on this beautiful journey. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. 80% of you aren't. If you haven't, consider dropping a like. It helps the algorithm, helps me out a lot. If you've made it all the way through to the end of the video, you're a bloody legend, and hopefully I can see you guys next time. Bye, guys.